So again, when you get used to using formulas and you have a bunch of formulas which you can use, you look at the shape, we're dealing with a sphere, we know the surface area, so just off to the side I say, well, I know the surface area formula for a sphere, that's 4 pi r squared. Okay? And we know that that surface area is 250 square inches. We want to find the diameter. Now, our formula right now doesn't have diameter in it. This is the only formula that we have with surface area. As you get later on and take some other courses, like as you take physics and science, sometimes in physics there's going to be 4 or 5 formulas that have one thing in it. So can you imagine if there was 5 surface area formulas for spheres? Then you'd have to write them all out and figure out which was the best one to use. This is nice and easy because there's only one. However, if I look at this formula and I plug things in, because I know the surface area is 250, we get an equation that has only one thing that we don't know. Can you see that the only variable here is r? And r is the radius. But we don't want the radius, we want the diameter. So the question you'll have to ask yourself, would it be helpful to find the radius? If I found the radius, would that help me find the diameter? Yes. Okay, so it's worthwhile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get r by itself. I can do that by dividing by 4 pi. Please type that into your calculator. 19.89. Okay. This is the one where you need the brackets on the bottom if you do, or use the, if you're really getting used to using that fraction button, use that. Okay? Because this is the one where you could make a mistake. If you just went divide by 4 pi, you'll get the wrong answer, right? So we need to get 19.89. Equals r squared. And then we would square root that. And we find out what r is. So our diameter if I know the radius, how to find the diameter? Just the radius times 2. 8.92. Did it ask for a certain nearest tenth of an inch? 8.9 inches. Another thing I always check in a question is whether they're using the same unit throughout. Because as you get into questions throughout, notice we're dealing with inches when we talked about surface area, and our answer was inches, no problem. I could have this same question and make it a surface area and conversion question combined if I said nearest tenth of a centimeter. So then you'd have to use conversions during your question as well. But this one, it's nice. It's all inches. We can just use our formulas, do the calculations as we go, and we get our diameter is 8.9 inches.